Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in and get settled down. Welcome to Sewing and Growing. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Rebecca and I love to sew. So I'm super, super excited about today's video. It's all about a special treat that I have for you guys, the Coat Collective. I'm gonna be sharing my couture coats, okay? But yeah, today is Friday. Happy Friday, sews. It's about 11:30. I know my clock says like 11:35. I always set mine about 5 minutes fast because your girl obviously was built for eternity because I have no concept of time. I'm always running a little bit behind schedule. So yeah, first before we get into these beautiful makes that I want to show you all, I want to go ahead and give you guys a little glimpse of what inspired today's makes. So last night, I looked out the window at about 9 something and the snow was falling down. It has already started to melt, but it's really pretty the way it rests on the branches of the trees. But I told you guys when I did my last Friday Sews production that I was preparing for the cold weather. I knew that it was going to come, but I did not think it was going to come this soon. Okay, so yeah, that was earlier this week, like Monday or Tuesday. Woke up, snow was on the ground. I had to get out and make a little quick video because it was so pretty. It was gone like 2 hours after I shot that video. But it made me think about all the beautiful coats that I've made. Plus, there is a sewing challenge, I believe, that involves coats that I am going to maybe jump on board with. And so I'm like, let me share these gorgeous coats, coats. All right, let's do it. So you can see what's up right here. Let me just go ahead and get into it. This coat right here, I made from upholstery fabric. That is the main fiber. I'll go ahead and take this off of Wendy and Lisa, or Lisa and Wendy. I can never remember which one is which. They both look so much alike. But anyway, Wendy and Lisa are my girls here. They've been with me for a long time. And so I'm going to throw up some images of one of the girls in this coat that modeled it for me. I did this for a fashion shoot I did a few years ago, so this is not a recent make. But I'm showing it anyway because it needs to be seen. Okay. All right. So, I shouldn't even still have this coat. I should have sewed this thing. I would put it on, but I'm gonna be honest, it's too little for me. I made it for the model that wore it in my show. She was a little tiny thing. But yeah, here is the fabric. And if I remember correctly, this might have been a fabric I picked up at Walmart, but this little detailing right here, I know I thrifted that. I remember when I bought that. But yeah, you guys, I use this I don't even know what you call this rope stuff. You used to could get this at like Hobby Lobby in the ribbons and stuff section, and I just cut it and made my little loops here. And then this special detailing I think is so cute. These little wooden curtain rod. This has something to do with curtains. I don't remember what, but I just use this detailing on the pockets as well. I don't know how in the world this thing would be laundered, and I didn't care. I just wanted to put together whatever, my little imagination came up with. And I'm like, well, whoever buys it gonna have to deal with the cleaning instructions. That was wrong, wasn't it? Okay, but here's the buttons. It's really cute, and this lining is fantastic. I had this little uh ribbon that said follow your dreams, and that was when I was doing my fashion shows, honey, and I was following my dreams. So I would put this in all my garments. There's my old design label, Tribeca Designs. And I think I did try to put like yeah, I put a care instructions label in there, honey. So I didn't leave. I wasn't gonna leave you hanging. Whoever was gonna buy this coat, but yeah, it has so much phenomenal detail, and it just, you know, I name most of the garments that I make, and I remember calling this Jungle Boogie because I just loved it. It reminded me, I love animal prints. That's another thing that I wear, and yeah, I was just kind of feeling myself when I made this coat. And Stacy, the girl who modeled it, she looked so cute in it, and it was a great show. One day I'll show some footage from some of my old shows, but for now, I'll give this back to, um, is it Wendy or Lisa? Whoever. Okay, so let's put this back on her. Hey girl, hey. It looks good on her too, cause she tiny. She is not my size. I need to upgrade. Wendy and Lisa need a few meals so they can catch up to your girl, okay? But this next one, okay, this one is so near and dear to my heart, you guys. Hopefully, I can find a picture of the beautiful woman of God wearing it that I made it for, and that was my dear sweet grandmother. Oh, you guys hear me talk about her a lot because she is the one who taught me how to sew. And later in life, when she became ill and did not sew for herself anymore, I would make things for her from time to time. And this is one that I made for my grandmother one Christmas. Um, so, yeah, wasn't too long ago, actually. She has stepped into eternity just a little, maybe about a year and a half ago now. So it hasn't been that long ago, but I made this for her. And this is just made out of a simple, okay, what is it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Yes, it's a fleece. This is some fabric I purchased by the yard at Joann's. You know how they have bolts and bolts and bolts of fleece this time of year, and then it goes on sale after the first of the year. And I picked this up. This spoke to my heart because my grandmother was a fourth Seminole Indian. I don't know that much about our heritage, and honestly, I don't really claim it because I feel like that's my grandmother. So that blood, that part of the bloodline, by the time it got to me, it just, and my grandmother honestly didn't know a whole lot about that part of her heritage, but she knew her grandmother was half Indian. So yeah, she loved though to wear garments that featured these Native American textiles. So when I saw this, I thought of my grandmother immediately. The tag I had specialized, it said to there's a little message under there, but you can't see it because she washed it and it faded. But this black portion here is a stretch velvet, and it was thrifted off of a velvet dress that I had. It's beautiful. My grandmother loved velvet. She loved black velvet, and this detailing on the edges here is simply one of my silk saris. I used to purchase silk saris by the lot on eBay, and that was one. And then I just used some of that same rope on the previous jacket, but I covered it to make this beautiful piping detail. And what I love about it is the strap is sewn on. So you don't have to worry about keeping up with the straps, and you don't have to have those unattractive loops. I don't like loops that go on the waist. So hopefully I can find a picture of her somewhere. I'm going to dig in my photos and see. Seem like I remember taking a picture of her in this in church one Sunday. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick show of me modeling it for you. So hang tight. Okay, did you guys enjoy that? If you're enjoying my video so far, please subscribe, comment, and share. It really helps YouTube's algorithm push my videos out to many other people. I have so many gorgeous garments that I want to share with the world, and so that would help me out tremendously if you could do that. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to share my passion for garment construction with you guys. Okay, so now the piece of resistance is coming up. This next coat that I made, I think I'm gonna enter this into the challenge. It's called the I think it's called Sew Together. I don't remember for sure. I'll have to check my messages, and I'll post the hashtag in the description box below for anyone else that might want to join in. But this one I call the Cowrie shell coat, of course, because of all of these beautiful Cowrie shells that I sewed along the neckline in this really cute fashion. It's loaded with Cowrie shells. And the details, you do have to kind of look up close to see them, though. They don't really pop from a distance. But this coat is phenomenal, you guys. The pockets also have Cowrie shells on them. I just did some little snaps here right in the front. These jumbo heavy duty snaps. Of course, it's fully lined. It is an ankle length coat, so it's full length. And the back here has 3 Cowrie shells sewn right in the middle. I tend to do things in threes. And then my thing too with coats is to sew the belt on and omit any type of loops or anything on the side, so you don't have to worry about finding your coat. But it's pretty darn heavy. The fiber is an upholstery fabric. I found this on the upholstery remnants table. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember. I don't remember where I bought this. I'm thinking Walmart. I did a whole video on some purple makes featuring beautiful fibers I purchased at Walmart back in the early 2000s. Those garments I still have in my personal wardrobe. I still wear. They're beautiful, and they're still very stylish and very, if you even want to say, trendy. I don't like that word, but okay. But yeah, this, there's the garment label instructions. I try to put these in anything that I think I'm going to sell. But I will, I made this for a show that I did, but I was gonna sell this, but no. I'm keeping this. I'm going to wear it. I ain't never wore this coat. Never wore it out. Isn't it crazy? But I put it on, and I was like, okay, I can still work this. I'm a little, some gravy and biscuits, but I can still get in it. And so I'm gonna throw up a little show of me modeling this for you guys. Okay, I hope that was as good for you as it was for me. Oh my God, I'm gonna be stepping out of this coat this year, you guys. But I know you guys like to talk about patterns. Let me put this disclaimer out there. Most of the patterns that I use to create my garments are no longer in print. There's a very good reason for that. I started buying patterns back in the these, okay? And so I have been purchasing patterns for decades. And I have so many that I just feel like, why go out and buy something new? If I do, I'm sure that I will do that. Okay, in the future. I'm not saying I will never buy new patterns, but for now, I'm just trying to use what I have. Um, and in addition to that, my grandmother, I inherited her patterns, and she started sewing in the 60s. And when her friends passed on, who sewed that didn't have family members interested in sewing, they gifted me, which I thought was so sweet. They gifted me their patterns. So I have mounds and mounds and mounds of patterns that I try to pull from. And usually, I'll be honest, I don't stick to the pattern. I just use it as a base silhouette, and then I add my own design elements. So that being said, I'm going to start with this pattern. This is vintage, yes. And if I look at the date on this, I believe it's from the 60s. Isn't that cute? See, this is a knit over jacket, just a jacket, very simple. And if you try to guess which one of these I made this pattern out of, which one would you guess? Wendy! I think that's Wendy. Yeah. So if you look, it's the same thing. It's just a tie with a wrap. It's a tie with a wrap. And Lord forgive me, I need to tape that because it's coming apart. It was a very easy make, no fasteners whatsoever. And all I did was I just added this little detail in the shoulder. I just cut some pieces. Honestly, I'm also inspired by Asian culture a lot in my designs. And I think I had just got through watching like some Genghis Khan type flick, and he had on something that just was kind of regal, you know. And I think in my mind, even though I was trying to do Native American for my grandmother, I had this Asian Genghis Khan costumey stuff in my head back at the time when I made this. And so that is part of what inspired this look as well. Okay. So there you have it. Let me see if I need my glasses. Let me see if I can get a date on this pattern because now I'm curious. But it says Vogue pattern. The number is 9133. That number, of course, doesn't apply to this anymore. This is old. One of my grandmother's friends actually gave me this one. Her name was Jackie. Oh gosh, maybe it's inside the pattern envelope. Bear with me just one second because I really want to try to get the date on this. Okay, well I looked and I don't see any copyright date on this pattern. But I just like to look at these vintage patterns. They're so cool. Oh man, this one is a Vogue, but like I say, it's super vintage. I'm pretty sure this was from like the 60s because that was the era that my grandmother and her friends was really getting down back then. My grandmother learned to sew a little later in life. She didn't start as young as I did, but well, she was an adult, a young adult. I'll just say that she wasn't, old. But anyway, yeah, so I love these patterns. They mean so much to me, and I don't want them to just sit and not do anything with them. So, the next one, Wendy, Lisa, whoever, this other sister right here. this is the pattern that I used. Can you believe it? It's true. It's a swim cover from the 60s. And I'm sure this is another 60s pattern. And this one, I'm pretty sure was given to me by the same lady because I know my grandmother, she wouldn't wear that. Not even in the 60s, way before I was born. She wouldn't have worn nothing like that. I know her style. So this was given to me by her friend Jackie. It's a swimsuit cover, like I said. And if you look here, if you look here, it's the same pattern. All I did is I brought the front yoke, the center front piece, not yoke, but the center front piece right here. I'm extending it over a little bit so it would wrap. And let's see, what else did I do? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just extended this part over so it would, you know, come together without that gap in the middle, and um, just added the details. That's it. I made a coat out of a vintage swimsuit cover pattern. This is Buttrick 76. I'm sorry, 60 Buttrick 6706 from back in the day. You see that $1 price on there, and that was like the high price back then. But anyway, sizes have changed. Oh my gosh, there's some history here. Okay, for those of you, oh, I'm gonna save that because that's something special. There is a manufacturer here that used to be really popular in the 60s that had a fabric store. I'm gonna do a whole story on that, so I'm gonna save that when you guys turn on those notification bells. Okay, I'm looking to see if there are any copyright dates. I thought they dated these, but maybe they didn't. All right, I'll let it go. I wanted the exact year that this came out. All right, so last but not least, the Cowrie shell coat. Again, see, it wasn't no coat pattern. It was this one. See how the lapel is rounded right here and it crosses over? And I just, instead of using this skirt bottom, I just added a bottom for a typical wrap skirt that doesn't have all of the extra flounce. And then of course I made my own belt. I took the pleats, or I'm sorry, the gathers. I took the gathers out of the shoulders because I have very broad shoulders and I don't like to accentuate them. I'm trying to get over that, but when I made that particular coat, I didn't want, for me, if I was going to be wearing it, and I thought maybe the person modeling it would feel the same way. I know now that's kind of like accentuated shoulders are very trendy right now. But yeah, this is a new look. And gosh, when did I buy this? You know, I'm going to say early 90s on this one. So that wasn't the decade I started sewing in. So that's how many decades I've been sewing. So yeah, I think, yeah, your girl was the early 90s right here. But yeah, that coat definitely wasn't made in the early 90s though. Definitely that's, 2000 situation. But yeah, that's okay, that's the patterns. You guys want to see them. I'm just saying. So be encouraged by that. Know that you can do all kind of things with your existing patterns. You can think way outside the box. I do have some gorgeous coat patterns that I've never used that I'm going to make to the instructions. Let me show you one. I have many, but I'm just going to show you one. This, I think, is so cute. Now, this is obviously a more recent pattern. I would think this one is no longer in print, too, but I don't know because I purchased this one 10 years ago. They never made it. But I like the look of it. To me, it's kind of futuristic. It has kind of that androgynous look to it as well. Like a guy or a girl could wear that style. But yeah, this is hot. I can't wait to make this. I'm going to make this using some of my quilted pieces, pillowcases. I'm going to just piece it together. I like how it has so many different seams where you can piece all this stuff together. This says Vogue 1335. If anybody was interested in maybe trying to find this, I'd be interested in knowing if it's in print. Let me know if you find it. Oh, I do want to say I'm still making that quilted jogger set, the army green one that I mentioned before. So just bear with me. I did not do any sewing this week. Confession. Once that snow came down, even though I had said I wasn't going to decorate for the holidays, I couldn't help myself. I pulled out the Christmas tree, and that's what I've been doing all week, decorating, because I am going to be hosting. So pray for me. It's a lot of work putting this stuff up. Okay. But let me get out of here, let you guys go. Thank you for indulging me. Oh, this was so much fun for me. I do want to leave you with a passage of scripture today, taken from Ecclesiastes chapter 9. And this is just so dear to my heart. I love it when I find little tidbits in God's word that talk about sowing. And it simply says, again, it's Ecclesiastes. I'm sorry. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, not 9, 3. And the verse is 7. Ecclesiastes 3:7. And it simply says, a time to tear and a time to mend. Or some translations say a time to take apart and a time to sew back together. And it's just going through different times and seasons for different things. A time to laugh, a time to cry, a time to give, a time to refrain, various things like that. And I thought, how sweet to mention a time to sew. That's wonderful. So take that with you. I hope that you find time to sew. Until next time. And happy Thanksgiving ahead of time. I will not be doing much sewing next week either, because I'll be feasting and getting ready for travel. So happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with your loved ones, or whatever it is you do. Find something to be thankful for. Bye.